Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, YouTubers. Yeah. I woke up and rewatched the video I made yesterday, and I failed to make a couple of good points. Okay, I did make a couple of good points, but not all of the points I wanted to make. So we're going to revisit this Isaac Butterfield video. I woke up and I was like, pour myself a drink. I don't have to drink all the time to enjoy myself, mind you. But holy crap. The fact that there are people out there, and this is the point I want to make. The fact that there are people out there who are offended by terms like breastfeeding. They're so gender sensitive.
G'day, you good motherfuckers, the Buttsman here, and did you know that if your mother breastfed you as a child, you are a bigot? You're a bigot, you're a piece of shit. You're transphobic and probably misogynistic as well. How do you feel about yourself?
I feel like our society is way too goddamn sensitive. Well, I tried to do this challenge for YouTube, and I'm not even going to talk about that. That was a disastrous fail. But like this, this is ridiculous.
I spit on you. What I'm saying is, if you sucked on your mother's nipples for sustenance and nutrition back when you were a little baby, then you are a piece of shit. That's what I'm trying to get across to everyone who is watching this. But also, if you are from Tasmania and you're 25 and you're still sucking on your mum's nipples, I don't have a problem with it. Good on you guys. I really enjoy Tasmania. You've got a weird thing going on down there, but you do you. Why are you so evil if you suck on your mama's titties as a baby? Let me tell you, it's finally time to do the right thing and ban the word breastfeeding and replace it with chest feeding. Finally, Australian national.
There are people out there who are offended if you call it breastfeeding. What? Australian National University urges staff to say chest feeding instead of breastfeeding. Gestational parent insisted instead of wait, what? Gestational parent instead of mother. Well, why are we doing this crap? You have a mother, you have a father. Your mother breastfeeds, your father doesn't. Why are we making this more complicated than it needs to be?
National University, the ANU, urges staff to say chest feeding instead of breastfeeding, gestational parent instead of...
Pour some hair of the dog. I poured some in my glass. Yes.
Mother. While we're at it, why don't we just replace the name of father as the haver or have-notter of cocks or balls? Hashtag cocks don't matter. Remember that. The country's leading university, sounds like a great place, has asked staff to adopt gender-inclusive parenting language such as chest feeding and human milk.
Fucking fuck off. You want to be gender inclusive about breastfeeding? Okay, let me let you in on a secret. The only ones that can breastfeed are women. If you were born cis woman and you have titties, no matter how big they are, it's irrelevant. The only ones that can breastfeed are women. I touched on this in a previous video, but I didn't go into full depth like I wanted to. Excuse me. And I'm sitting here like, there are people out there who are offended because you called it breastfeeding. Now, I made a lot of really good fair points last time I responded to this video, but I did not make all the points I wanted to make. Excuse me. The fact that there are people out there who are offended by the term breastfeeding, it's beyond me, YouTube.
And shoot me now. You know, I've heard about this university before. I wonder why. Oh, that's right. Grossly inappropriate comedian to perform at Cambry by Grace Sixsmith and Nick Richardson. Hey, Grace Sixsmith and Nick Richardson, fuck you to the moon. Send you that t-shirt, both of you. Fuck you to the moon. ANUSA Social Officer Matthew Mataloa described Cambry's decision to allow Butterfield to perform at ANU as grossly inappropriate, asserting that Butterfield's presence would hurt so many already marginalised communities and would only validate other people's sexist and anti-Semitic behaviour. You know, I just wanted to point out to everyone at your precious little university, you know that I don't hate anyone, right? You know that the things I say on stage...
No, my last video was shit, fuck, I just woke up. The last fucking video was about how racist our country is. And now, on top of being our society being super racist, Now I got a video where our society is just super sensitive.
Major jokes, yeah? You know, the reason I say them is because in my mind I go, that's fucked up and also pretty funny. Even though I don't mean them, they're still fucked up and still funny. You fucking idiots. And even though they whinged in their little student newspaper about me, they still had me there that year. We sold the show out. The promoter Yours and Ours sold it out. But then, wait for it, in 2021, they complained again and my show got cancelled at ANU, and Yours and Ours picked up this big stink and cancelled my show at Wollongong Uni as well. If you want to know more about Yours and Ours, check out Friendly Geordie's video. It's a very interesting video. Anyway, still coming to Canberra, so don't fucking worry. Ticket links down below. I'm there on July 1st. I found another venue, a better venue. Fucking come and see me, you mad dogs. And now that my big bitch and personal whinging, moaning and groaning is over and I've plugged my show, let's get back to the chest and breastfeeding. The university has encouraged staff to use breast inclusive language, titty inclusive language, parent inclusive language, such as chest feeding.
Could you imagine? Australia's leading university has encouraged staff to use parent-inclusive language, such as chest feeding instead of breastfeeding and human milk rather than mother's milk. First of all, if you call it human milk, you're a sick fucking asshole. Because women are the only ones that lactate enough from their nipples to feed their offspring. Men don't really do that crap, and if we're so offended by everything that we have to call breastfeeding, chest feeding, I'm just like, where's the alcohol? I'm done with your stupid shit.
Instead of breastfeeding, human milk rather than mother's milk. I'm sorry, but human milk sounds like cum.
This oceanside villa is about to become the backdrop for an unforgettable vacation memory.
This is just another example of everyone having to change to fix someone's delicate sensibilities. Why should everyone change exactly how they live their life, which doesn't hurt anybody, just to fix this ridiculous notion?
Yeah, no shit. So thousands of people are supposed to stop calling it breastfeeding because a small chunk of the population is offended because you call it breastfeeding. Like, what? I touched on a lot of good points when I responded to this video last, but I didn't touch on all the points I wanted to make. So I'm going to redo this and add to the points that I didn't touch on. Because according to some fucking sensitive ass snowflakes, according to some people, if you call it breastfeeding, you're an insensitive prick. And I'm like, why do we even cry anymore. Doesn't matter what we do, someone's going to be offended.
That 1/10 of 1% of the population of the world has an issue with. And you know what? That's probably unfair to that 1/10 of 1%. It's probably 1/10 of that 1/10 of 1% that whinges and bitches on Twitter for a living that has an issue with it. We have to curtail and change our entire lives to suit these fucking whingers.
Yeah. We gotta sit here and change. We gotta sit here and change. We gotta change how people inclusively say things, because less than 1/10 of the Twitter population is offended. Like, you're fucking retarded. I'm sorry, but this shit concerns me.
That you wouldn't spend a moment on. Similarly, the terms like mother and father should be replaced with gestational and non-gestational parent, according.
Gestational? What the fuck is gestational? I'm sorry, but let me just grab a squizzle of this. Wow, bloody hell, I'm good on that alcohol for a minute. The point I made in my last video, there are people out there who are offended because you say Black Lives Matter, not fully realizing what it's about. There are people out there who get offended because you say Black Lives Matter, not realizing that there's a reason why we have that movement, you fucking dumb asshole. And this is why I I did a response to this video yesterday, but I didn't fully touch on the points I was trying to make. So I'm going to redo it for a little morning stream. No, it just fucking boggles my mind. People have been calling it breastfeeding for years. If you as a child suck from your mother's titties, and you as a baby, you get milk from your mother's boobs, apparently now you're a bigot. And I'm just like, can we stop? Don't you ever stop and go and think to yourself, our society is a little too sensitive. Gender inclusive language for the parents today. You know what? My parents that raised me didn't need gender inclusive language to feel included in everything. Because to be honest, my parents didn't care about gender inclusive language. Whether or not their kid was safe and provided for, that's what they cared about. No, it's the truth, YouTube. You think today's parents are going to be like, oh my God, they said I was breastfeeding my child. I want them to call it chest feeding, because if they don't, then I'm going to be super offended and pussy hurt over it. Get over yourselves. I'm all for supporting transgender rights. Like, you want to chop your dick off and cut it in half the long way and turn it inside out and make a fucking vagina out of it. As long as you're 18 or older, I don't care. If you're 18 or older, you've been through puberty, and you want to do the whole trans thing. Yeah, more power to you, man. As long as you're 18 or older and it's consensual and you've been through puberty and you want to do the whole trans thing, go for it. It's your body, it's your rights. However, if you're so offended by gender inclusive language that you're like, did you just say breastfeeding? Oh my God. I think anyone who gets offended by the term breastfeeding is secretly a sexist towards women. That's what I think. Because the only ones that can breastfeed are mothers who have a kid. They push a baby out of their vagina, or if they have a C-section, the doctor will cut their stomach open and pull it out and stitch them back up. regardless of how the kid's delivered, if a mother is going to breastfeed her child, it is a natural human thing. It's the oldest time. And humans aren't the only ones that breastfeed. Puppies do the same shit. So do kittens. Like, if your cat or your dog has puppies or kittens of their own, you ever seen how, right? How baby kittens and baby puppies, okay, they will suck from their mother's teats when they're like babies and they're freshborn kids, basically. There's no way I slept all day, and it's only 8 o'clock at night already. "8:59 p.m. Well, I didn't mean to fucking sleep if I did end up sleeping all day. It was unintentional. Fucking A.
According to the Australian National University's Gender Inclusive Handbook. The Gender Inclusive Handbook, that book would make Prince Philip's rotting corpse seem interesting. It would make Meghan Markle's worldview seem important, and it would make Harry's choice of clothing seem appropriate. My point?
Yeah, Prince Harry being super racist, but you're offended because someone said breastfeeding.
Is the Gender Inclusive Handbook sounds fucking stupid, but also it sounds like a great 8th Harry Potter book. May I give you the synopsis of Harry Potter and the Gender Inclusive Handbook?
I watched this video before. I'm a Harry Potter fan, and I found this shit funny. Just wait.
Basically, what happens is Hermione grows a cock and then fucks Ron with it. It's a great read. It's really
Isaac Butterfield is being cheeky with his typical Australian behavior, like a very typical Australian sense of humor. Ridiculous. Harry Potter and the gender-based handbook of What? Gender inclusive. Okay, no offense to J.K. Rowling, but that's funny shit. Hermione grows a cock and fucks Ron. That's hilarious.
Romantic. Hagrid becomes a champion, world-renowned weightlifter in the female division. And
yeah, Hagrid becomes a world-renowned champion in the female division because apparently he's trans.
sounds fucking stupid, but also it sounds like a great Harry Potter book. The inclusive handbook sounds fucking stupid, but
Like, I like how our society is like, don't be gender inclusive. You can't say breastfeeding. You must say chest feeding, otherwise you'll offend people. But the second you try to be more gender inclusive, they're just like, hey, it's not all about gender, you dickhead. Women are just as strong as men. We can do anything you can do.
also it sounds like a great Harry Potter book. Like you the synopsis of Harry Potter and the gender inclusive handbook.
Harry Potter and the gender inclusive handbook. Now, Mr. Buttsman, Isaac Butterfield, I'm a die-hard Harry Potter fan, but that shit made me laugh my ass off when I saw this.
Basically, what happens is Hermione grows a cock and then fucks Ron with it. It's a great read. It's really romantic. Hagrid becomes a champion, world.
Hagrid becomes a heavyweight lifting champion in female sports.
Now, weightlifter in the female division, and Snape has Voldemort's baby.
Now Snape has Voldemort's baby. Oh my god, dude, that's seriously too goddamn funny. People are so worried about being gender inclusive that it's like you fail to realize that women lactate and produce breast milk and give birth to babies. Men don't. So, in my personal opinion, it's more gender inclusive to call it chest feeding than to call it what it is. What it's been called for several centuries now. We're going to call it breastfeeding because women feed their child from their breast. It is a mammal, a human being, a mammal. Being like, the baby wants the baby, you know what I'm saying? You want to call me an arsehole, but it's the goddamn truth. If you're offended by things like the term breastfeeding, I think you weren't breastfed as a kid. That or you're secretly gay and super offended by women. On top of it, to be offended by things like the term breastfeeding. Did I seriously sleep all day? Holy crap. I didn't mean to sleep all day. What? But I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I think J.K. Rowling is brilliant. But this made me laugh my ass off. Harry Potter and the Gender Inclusive Handbook. Busman literally photoshopped Deathly Hallows book cover to make Harry Potter look like he's holding this handbook of gender inclusiveness. And everyone knows if you're a Harry Potter fan, J.K. Rowling wrote Cursed Child, where Bellatrix Lestrange cheated on her husband and had Voldemort's kid. Kind of beside the point. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like the fact that the Busman is joking about gender inclusiveness and saying, hey, Snape had Voldemort's baby. As a Harry Potter fan, that shit made me laugh. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. People who get so offended by the term breastfeeding.
And the chest feeds off that creepy snake. Oh, and Neville Longbottom becomes Neville Longtits.
Yes, in Harry Potter and the Gender Inclusive Chamber of Secrets, apparently. Yeah, Neville Longbottom becomes Neville Longtits. That's fucking funny. Now, if I did sleep all day, I didn't intentionally mean to. I wanted to get up at like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning and get back to working on wands. Nah. One of the wands I have in my collection for the next batch of wands will have the Cobra cult symbol on it, on top of having a shotgun shell fired from my shotgun into the handle. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and plug the next batch of wands on Etsy, because the next batch of wands is going to be sick. I am going to charge a little bit extra for the one with the cult symbol on the wand. But your standard Harry Potter style shotgun shelled handled wand, $44 a pop. Just because I can't always go to the shooting range with Darth Flinny all the time. Ammunition gets expensive. I don't get to go out shooting very often. It is legitimately getting dark outside. Holy crap, I'm convinced now that I slept all day by accident. Wow. Uh, uh, Oh, sorry about that, YouTube. Had some spicy ass fuck wings. Ordered like 24 Buffalo blazing hot boneless wings from Pizza Hut. It smothered it in like 4 cups of their buffalo medium sauce. Pretty spicy to eat in one sitting, let me tell you. I tried doing it for a YouTube challenge and I was just like, no. You know what I'm saying? I'll have a couple on camera here in a second, but I just wanted to make this video. That's been known to happen. Some days I sleep all day and I wake up and I'm like, fuck, it's already nighttime. I didn't mean to sleep all day. Yeah, I've been munching on these all day. And some of last night, I have like 6 boneless wings. Dude, if I were to order wings from Wing Street Pizza Hut again, I would order these exact same wings. I paid like $32 for 24 wings, flavored blazing hot, with 4 packets of your buffalo medium sauce smeared on top. I got the wings, dumped all the sauce packets on top, closed it up, shook it up, and I was like, all right, bring on the heats. YouTube, you don't even know the half of it. These things are spicy as. One, two, three, four, five, six. Let's see if I can at least eat 6 on camera without fucking pussying out. Pizza Hut's boneless wings are delicious, but holy shit, that sauce combo. Ugh. Let's grab some water after this. There are people out there who get offended because you call it breastfeeding. I'm done. Society, you pissed me off. People suck. I need a beer. Yeah. T-shirt is in my Teespring. I did not mean to sleep all day, to be honest. But I guess I needed to sleep. And end up going back to bed as soon as I get tired again. Dude, these wings. Mm. Yeah, the last 6 of those. Oh, fuck.
Probably read that, to be honest. I'd buy that for $1. You know what?
Oh, fuck, my mouth is on fire. I like Pizza Hut's wings. They're pretty good. They're boneless wings. I especially like because you don't gotta pick it off the bone, just straight into your gullet. But yeah, when I order Pizza Hut's blazing hot buffalo wings with blazing medium buffalo sauce, again, absolutely. Very satisfying on the meat, the heat. It was a delicious treat for my stomach. I like spicy food, to be honest.
Always taken aback with how important people place gender and sexuality and colour. Like, it just seems like you shouldn't worry that much about something that you cannot change. Like your gender identity or your sexual orientation. Firstly, no one cares. Secondly, why should you care so much when you place so much of your life on?
This is how I look at it. Unless you're a pedophile, who cares about your sexuality? To be honest. Like, if you want to fuck other men, you want to fuck other women, and you're the same sex, that's your choice. But if the people you're trying to fuck are underage, that's when I have a problem with it. This might be a point I failed to make in my last video. Drinking that Bacardi Dragon Fruit. Oh, bloody hell. Like, I could give, okay, if you're trans and you want to fuck members of the same sex or the opposite sex, I don't care if you want to fuck members of the same sex or the opposite sex, provided they're old enough for you. Okay? Like, if you're a kid and you identify as gay, that's your choice. If you want to, you know what I'm saying, do things, you find someone close, like pretty much the same age as you, who's into the same shit, and there you go. I don't care what you do sexually, as long as the people you're with are old enough for you, and it's consensual. Got about like 3 more minutes of this video. I'll go with smoke. Yes, I got to smoke outside in my new apartment now. But I don't care. I like living up here, so stepping outside for a cigarette or a bowl. My knife seems to have fallen out of my sheath.
on that one thing. I just don't understand how you can be happy. When you talk about in the real world what you identify as, you sound like a child. Like, take this lady, for example.
Do you identify as black? No, it's a serious question, because you might not identify. Can you please put the mic? Thank you.
Yeah.
Why am I unhireable? Is there something wrong with me? Am I broken?
There are these algorithms that are secret.
I'm black.
See, in the real
Yeah,
world,
there are people who identify as black, and they're whiter than me. This is the kind of crap that gives this cracker a fucking headache. I'm just like, stop. You got people like Nuka Zeus who are sitting there saying they're transracial. And I'm like, where do we draw the fucking line, people? This is ridiculous.
oh, that sounds fucking stupid. Of course he identifies as black. He doesn't need to say that. Why? Because he's black. Be who you want to be. Don't get me wrong. But expecting everybody to just drop everything and make you feel special is preposterous. And
That's what I'm saying. And that's the whole fucking point of it. YouTube. No one gives a fuck if you're trans or non-binary or if you like the same sex. That's your choice. Good on you, mate. As long as you're attracted to people who are old enough for you, then who cares? But to expect everyone to be so gender inclusive that we can't call it breastfeeding anymore. We have to call it chest feeding. These are the same fucking assholes who get offended because we called it Mr. Potato Head. These are the same fucking assholes who get offended because you called a children's toy Mr. Potato Head. You can't call it Mr. because that's gender inclusive. I like how they're like, don't be gender inclusive, but as soon as everyone tries to say, hey, you know what? Women breastfeed, men don't. Like, I hate sick fucks more than I hate our fucking overly sensitive society. Like, I hate chimos and rapists and sick fucks more than I hate the overly sensitive pussies who are like, you can't call it breastfeeding because it's gender inclusive. Okay, first of all, Dick Lick, if you made the assumption that men can breastfeed too, you're making the assumption that men can give birth to children, which they can't. I don't know how offended you get by it. Women having their periods, women breastfeeding children, and women giving birth to children is something that women do. I don't care how much you change your sexual identity. You can sit there and say you're trans and you want to fuck women, or you want to fuck, whatever the fuck you want to fuck. As long as they're old enough for you and they're quote unquote of age, who cares? But I feel like getting offended by language like breastfeeding is a bit far, to be honest. So I didn't touch on these points when I made the video earlier. So I'm gonna retouch on them in the same video response. Because if you're a fucking asshole who gets offended by Black Lives Matter, you probably get offended by the term breastfeeding too, you fucking snowflake. You fucking snowflake.
Anyway, back to the gender handbook and all that shit. It cites a study from 2019 by researcher Lauren Dynor, who claimed that
Insights Our Cities, a 2019 study by researcher Lauren Dynor, who claimed that, and I'm not making this up, I wish I was, but heterosexual and women-focused lactation language can misgender, isolate, and harm trans masculine parents and non-hetero native families. What? You can chop your dick off and turn it inside out to make a fake pussy, but you can't take it when someone says, hey, here's a woman who is breastfeeding her child. Good on her. She's taking care of her child. Seriously, like, I'm not trying to be that guy, but it's the goddamn truth. I'm going to retouch on this video because I didn't really cover these points strongly enough in my last video. Like, I'm all for I am all 100% for trans rights. But when you're so goddamn insensitive that someone says, hey, here's a mother who is breastfeeding her child, and someone else says, you can't call it breastfeeding because it's gender inclusive. You have to call it chest feeding because you might offend the people. Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry, but that shit is annoying as fuck. When I was a kid growing up in the 90s, nobody gave a shit if you called it breastfeeding because women have breasts. Women are the only ones that breastfeed their children. This is true for a lot of mammals. It's not just humans, mind you. You look at cats and dogs, okay? Yeah, are you going to get offended because some mother with some really cute as fuck puppies is breastfeeding her pups? Like, you can't call that breastfeeding, you must call that chest puppy feeding because you might offend the puppies who are breastfeeding. Okay, if you say crap like that, you're fucking mental. My point being is, if you wouldn't say that crap about dogs and cats and other mammals who chest feed, as you call it, and you think to yourself, I wouldn't get offended if people called it breastfeeding if a dog did it, then why the fuck would you get offended if humans do it and call it as such? If you're offended because someone said, oh, they're breastfeeding their kid. Oh, you can't call it breastfeeding. That's gender inclusive. Well, you can misgender, isolate, or harm trans masculine parents and non-hetero and or native families. Fuck heroin, but I'm just saying, what the fuck is this shit? Trans masculine? Are you kidding me? I'm not here to judge people. Like, if your parents who are transgender and you push that narrative on your kid, I think you're a piece of shit. But as long as the kid's taken care of and they're safe, fed, and taken care of, they have clean clothes and a roof over their head, then outside of that, no judgments. You want to push your transgender narrative on kids, that's effed off. But as long as you're taken care of and the kid makes that choice for themselves, who cares? But we've talked about this on my channel. There are companies out there. Have you seen the booby scarves? The booby scarves are these things that you see on Etsy and all over the internet. They are scarves that resemble tits, okay? And they're sewn out of fabric and string. And you can wear them to keep your neck warm and to have a laugh. Like, oh, hey, look, you got a pair of tits hanging outside your jacket when the weather gets cold. Oh, that's cheeky. You keep your neck warm. Where'd you get those? That's comedic as shit. Oh, there's this Etsy seller that, okay, I gotta get me one. There was a Sydney Watson video, and this company makes penises out of the same material as the booby scarves. And if kids are feeling, and I quote, transgender or gender dysphoria, they can stuff these things in their pants to identify as the opposite gender. They don't have them, you know what I'm saying? They don't have the vaginas to help the boys who are experiencing gender dysphoria. Nope, they don't have crap like that. The fake vagina is sewn out of the same material. They don't. But if you're a girl and you're experiencing gender dysphoria, they got the products. And it's like, okay, hold up. You got men who have experienced the benefits of having testosterone and being a man, who say to themselves, they're not, you know, maybe they lose in men's sports. In sports where men compete against men, They lose, they struggle. And the only way they can get the advantage is if they identify as trans and come out as a woman. And some of these men genuinely are trans, but the majority of them are just doing it for attention and because they can't beat other men in the same sports and they want to win one for a change. You got women who are saying, I'm sick and tired of men dominating everything women do. And yet, here we have a group of men who identify as women or as trans just so they can compete in sports, dominate, get that trophy. And it's like one more thing that men take from women that women don't have. And as soon as you call it out for the sexist bullshit or how it's unfair, you get called a transphobe. But it's like, would you have the same argument if the situation was reversed? Let's say that women were the tougher sex and that men were the ones that pushed babies out their assholes. Would you have the same discussion? And if you did, could you imagine, ladies? You know, you try to examine that from both sides of the argument, and it's like, fuck this. Transgendered athletes should be allowed to compete in sports. However, they should have their own league. I think it's kind of unfair to have men who identify as women competing in women's sports, when if the situation were reversed, do you think a woman who identified as a man could just say that crap and then get away with it? Oh, no, dude. I'm serious. Like, a woman comes out as transgender and says she identifies as a man. Do you think she's going to be allowed to compete in men's sports? Oh, hell no. But if it's the other way around, nobody says shit. Okay, this is another way that men, in general, take advantage of their male privilege in society. And if you call it out for what it is, you get labeled a transphobe. And it's like, stop. Jesus Christ, the phone's blowing up. Yeah, we got a hate text message. Block. For the record, I'm proud of the dick I got between my legs. I identify as a heterosexual white male who identifies as cisgender male. I'm proud of the dick between my legs. I'm sexually attracted to of-age pussy and of-age females. And we're going to leave it at that.
Heterosexual and woman-focused lactation language.
Like, are we so goddamn sensitive as a society that straight heterosexual and woman-focused lactation language, it doesn't misgender anyone? Jesus fucking Christ, why are we having this fucking conversation? If you say to yourself, oi, that's a mother. I bet she's breastfeeding her kid. That's not misgendering anybody. I'm all for supporting transgender rights, provided that you're 18 or older and you've gone through puberty. If you've gone through puberty as the gender you were assigned, and you're 18 or older, and you want to chop your dick off in half and turn it inside out and turn it into a fake pussy, good on you. You know what I'm saying? If it makes you happy, who cares? Provided you're not like creepos like Jessica Univ. Blech. 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 Oh no, dude, stop. Dude, Caitlyn Jenner's surgery is more convincing than Jessica Univ's surgery. Savage burn. No, but Caitlyn Jenner is stunning and brave. It's like you would have been more brave coming out at the height of Bruce Jenner's career when everyone was against it. Now that everyone's being forced to accept it, you're not very brave for coming out as gay or trans in these modern times. If you would have come out when it was less accepted, you would have been a lot more brave. But coming out as trans or gay in today's society is not that brave when everyone is being forced to accept it. Now, a lot of you are going to get pissed off at me for saying that, but it's the goddamn truth. I support trans and gay rights, even before it was required to be accepted. Even before it was like, you have to, otherwise you're a politically incorrect piece of shit. Even before that, I accepted it. It's like, could you imagine being judged for being straight? Oh, wait, yes, I can. But not to the same degree. People get judged for being straight. But they don't get harassed the same way trans and gays have been harassed over the years. Granted, if you're a heterosexual straight woman or straight man and you identify as the gender you were born, people give you shit for it because that's just how it is. And before you get pissed off at it, gays and trans have been harassed for centuries, for years. If you identified as a woman, even though you were a man, or if you identified as a homosexual, people gave you shit for it. And now that people are fucking forced to accept it, they have inclusive rights. To a degree. That doesn't mean you get to fucking pick on straight people now. Like, just because blacks, gays, and women, and transgenders and gays all have rights, I'm all for it. But that doesn't mean that now it's okay to pick on straight white men or straight white women just because they're straight and because of the color of their skin. That makes you no different than the assholes who persecuted you in the first place. Doesn't mean that my discrimination is going to be the same. Because I'll acknowledge that 100%, dude. I might get bullied for being a straight white male, but it's not nearly as bad as what transgendered and gay individuals have to face. Even in a society where you're forced to just tolerate it, otherwise you're automatically a bigot, that doesn't stop people from hating, to be honest. How about a society where we don't care if you're straight, gay, lesbian, trans, bisexual, queer. We don't care if you're straight or LGBTQ plus. We don't care as long as you're not touching children and it's consensual and the people you're with are of age. Who gives a shit? Like, I draw the line at transgender. You want to be transracial? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. You want to touch kids? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. You know? We have to draw the line somewhere, YouTube. It's the truth. There are people out there who will use the gay argument to argue for people who touch kids. And it's disgusting. We're not going to make that argument because that's just disgusting. If you wouldn't want someone else touching your own kid, then what? You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. Like, God damn it. I don't care. Dude, I'm straight up telling it like it is. You want to be trans, you want to be gay, you want to be lesbian, bisexual, queer, whatever you're into. Well, that's your choice, mate. But we draw the line there. Okay? You start going after kids. I fucking hate chimos more than I hate my trolls. I don't give a shit. If kids want to be transgender, wait till they're 18 or older and they've gone through puberty before they make that decision. If they haven't grown out of it and it's something they genuinely believe in. Okay, you're 18 or older, you've gone through puberty, and you want to, you know what I'm saying, change your gender, go for it. But if you say this crap, people call you a transphobe, and it's like, listen here, you little oversensitive bitch. You little oversensitive bitch. If children do not hit puberty as the gender they are assigned at birth, that has so many health consequences, dude. You don't even know. It's bad enough. We got food with added hormones that are causing kids to hit puberty way too early. There were little girls as young as 8 years old who are getting their first period and developing boobs, and they're not even 16, 13 at the normal age for that kind of thing. And it's because of the hormones in our food. But heaven forbid, right? Your kid wants to be transgender, and there are doctors who advocate for your child taking puberty blockers and getting transgender realignment surgery when they're too young to understand the concept of it. No, dragon fruit Bacardi is for 21 and up. That's what's up.
can misgender, isolate, and harm trans-masculine parents.
What the hell are trans masculine parents? What the fuck is even that?
And non-heteronormative families. Hey, Lauren, get a fucking hobby, you fool. I guess the issue I have with all of this is that these are students at a university learning this. These people are supposed to be the most...
This is where I have a problem with it, YouTube. Exactly as Isaiah Butterfield says. These are students who have a degree in this crap. What? Hey, Cobra, you're a loser. Yeah, you know, not as much as you are. Block, delete, and ignore. I know. Let's harass somebody with autism because we're bored with our sad lives. Yes, I get people who fucking text me dumb shit, and it's like a block, delete, ignore. Oh my god. Dude, there are people out there who are like, hey, I don't care if Cobra's super autistic. I don't care if he has Asperger's. I'm gonna fucking talk shit. Fucking hilarious, dude. You know why I don't let my trolls get to me? It's because there are bigger fucking problems in the world. There are people out there who are offended because you called it breastfeeding and not chest feeding. And to be honest, that's stupid. Like, I'm all for supporting transgender and gay rights, provided that the people are of age and the shit you do with other people is of age and it's consensual. You know what I'm saying? No, look at that. What else we got? There we go. I have a fan who's getting trans realignment surgery. And good luck to what you're doing, man. The second comment I got is getting blocked, deleted, and ignored. I hate pedophiles more than I hate my trolls, to be honest. Like, my trolls are some real disgusting pieces of shit, but anybody who tries to touch kids is next level disgusting, to be honest. and like sitting there calling me a bunch of nasty fucking disgusting things when you know that Cobra seriously fucking hates pedophiles more than he hates his trolls. That's not even clever trolling. That just makes you look obsessed with it, to be honest. It's the truth. I think my trolls are obsessed with being a sick fuck, and I think my trolls need to get help for their pedophile addiction. Otherwise, if my trolls were not pedophiles, then they wouldn't sit there and text me crap like that.
Intelligent and the highest sought after young people in our country right now and other countries all over the world. They should be able to have informed decisions. They should be able to have debate. They should be able to disagree. But right now, they are not. Could you imagine if ANU, a student there, came out, or a professor or a teacher or a tutor, came out and said that they think that this whole chest feeding thing is fucking stupid?
Yes. Could you imagine? I think my trolls are pedophiles, and I think my trolls are obsessed with me, and I think my trolls are jealous of me. If they weren't, then they wouldn't text me stupid shit as much as they can. Kinda sucked because Cobra's not getting mad at your stupid text messages. He just delete, blocks, and ignores it. And you see it on camera, and you're like, God damn it. I want Cobra to get pissed off at what I say to him. It's not fair. It's against my religion, dickhead. Satanic 11 rules of the earth as doctrined by the Church of Satan. Rule number 9, you sick fucking assholes.
Can you imagine the backlash that they would receive?
No shit. Isaiah Butterfield fucking preach to the moon and back. Exactly. I'm all for political correctness and accepting the whole trans gay thing, but when we're so inclusive with it, that the idea of, you said breastfeeding, that's gender inclusive, it's enough to make me want to rip my goddamn hair out, or what little left I have of it. Like, you got, my fucking trolls are nothing compared to what people like George Floyd have gone through. You know? Like, there are people out there who get attacked just for being black, not because they're a famous YouTuber or because some of their opinions might be controversial. Fuck off.
They would lose their job. They would lose tenure. They would receive. They would be kicked out of the fucking uni.
No shit. Yes, if the professors or students that came out at a university who said calling it chest feeding is stupid, it's been called breastfeeding for centuries, why do we have to change it? It's not hurting anyone legitimately. People are just way too sensitive, and they need to grow the fuck up. You know, long live Ozzy fucking Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness, but that's beside the point. Could you imagine YouTube? They'd be sitting there going, I can't, oh my God, you said what? This is how I interpret Ozzy Osbourne's suicide solution. He talks about drinking alcohol instead of killing yourself, and that you shouldn't kill you know what I'm saying? Think about it. You're depressed, so you drink because you're depressed, kind of thing. I can relate to Ozzy's music, and I tend to understand it a lot more than most people do. Or at least I think I do, to be honest. I think when I hear the song Suicide Solution by Ozzy Osbourne, it's a song about drinking. to cope with your depression. You know what I'm saying? How alcohol can be just as destructive as killing yourself if you let it get out of hand. And I love to drink, but it gets to a point where I'm like, hey, well, slow down. I woke up and this is like the first drink I'm having. I don't even care. Now, some kid killed themselves because they heard Suicide Solution and Ozzy got blamed for it. I'm just like, what? Okay, someone misinterpreted the music. That's not the musician's fault, to be honest. Fuck suicide.
Terrified of offending people, and they know through cancel culture and all.
You know, they tried to cancel culture Sharon Osbourne for being a racist, and I'm just like, are you fucking retarded? No, when I look at Ozzy Osbourne, I'm like, here's some goth hippie who says the world's fucked up. I'm a fucked up individual, but I'm making the best of it. Like, yeah, it's no secret that Ozzy Osbourne had a problem with drugs and alcohol, but he got better and sobered up. And that's kind of my attitude towards those things, is if you have a problem with drugs and alcohol, then you should sober up and, find other things to do. But if you can do drugs and alcohol without it completely fucking up your life or controlling you, and you're not a complete asshole with or without it, who cares? The problem isn't drugs and alcohol, YouTube. The problem is people. That might sound controversial, but it's the truth. Alcohol gets a bad name because of the assholes who drink too much and beat their wives. It's the fucking truth. Like, when I drink, I don't get violent with people when I drink unless they're getting violent with me. Like, when I drink, I turn into an honest alcoholic who's a smartass. I tell it like it is, and like I have no filter sometimes. Like, I don't care if it offends you, I'm gonna tell it like it is, and that's the truth. If you don't like it, I don't care. This is why I keep my mouth shut when I'm at a bar. If I go to a bar and I'm drinking and I see someone else talking to their buddy about their problems, I want to step in and say something, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, no. Just keep my mouth shut and don't say shit. That's the truth of it. Like, you look at Sharon Osbourne, and it's like, even when people are not trying to be racist, they get perceived as racist just because they're white, or because everyone who isn't white, sometimes they want to be offended, just like the rest of our culture. Controversial. I'm sorry, but it's the goddamn truth. Like, people of certain minorities have more rights than they've had. Like, you compare the 1950s to like 2021. Certain minorities like blacks and everyone else, y'all got more rights. And yes, there are a lot of white people who do not like being reminded of their racist past. I'm one of the white dudes that you see that actually gives a shit about the right issues. And do you think as a white person I want to be reminded of my ancestors' racist past all the fucking time? Especially when I'm sitting here on my channel preaching power to the people, fuck racism, fuck sexism, and power to the people. The power is in our hands to make a difference, YouTube, to make a fucking difference. That's a difference that is required, that should be required by everyone, YouTube. But within reason. Can you blame the black community for being uncomfortable around us whites, especially when whites have had a history of being super racist and super prejudiced towards blacks? No. Honestly, I don't blame them for being uncomfortable in the situation. However, not every white you encounter is a racist prick. Just like, and I quote, not every black you encounter is a gangbanger and shit. Those stereotypes that exist for whites, guess what? Racial stereotypes exist for every race. And do you think people want to be reminded of their racist past or their racist, gender-based, stereotypical racist bullshit? Fuck no. Fuck no, YouTube. Fuck no. Because I can't fucking tell you, if you go off and accuse all blacks of being a certain way, they're going to say, hey, cracker, we're not all like that. Same argument, to a degree, with us whites. The only reason I say to a degree is because whites have not been discriminated like blacks have been discriminated. That's the only reason why I say to a degree. Like, white folks have had it pretty comfortable in our society, to be honest. And I wish everyone got the same treatment. I wish everyone got treated equally. But the only reason they haven't is because the system likes to distract people. Think about it. If people are busy fighting over, well, you're sexist, you're racist, you're insensitive, you're not being gender inclusive, you're not identifying proper pronouns, all this stupid bullshit in our society that you see right now. And you know what I'm talking about. If you get me and you get what I'm about, you see what I'm talking about, okay. That keeps people distracted like sheep. You're fighting with your neighbor because your neighbor said they don't support abortion rights. And you're sitting there getting into this heated discussion like, excuse me? And now you and your neighbor are fucking fighting about abortion rights. Personally speaking, I think abortion rights should be the woman's choice. If you're carrying it in your stomach, it's your right as a woman. I don't like the idea of the government and the goddamn churches telling a woman what she can and can't do with her fucking body. Power to the people. Fuck racism, fuck sexism. Power to the people.
All that type of shit. If you say something out of line, even 10 years ago, you can be called up for it now and you'll lose everything. Chest feeding may seem like an arbitrary thing to talk about, and it's certainly not the hill I'm going to.
Okay, stop. Chest feeding? No. King Cobra is going to tell it like it is. First of all, YouTube. Working on a new batch of wands. Already got one done for the batch. That's most definitely what's up. That black and green wand I made with the black shotgun shell. Chef's kiss, beautiful. It's done. It's still drying, but it's done. Working on that one that you see in the background next. One of my fans sent me a leather sticker with the Cobra Cult symbol on it. Even if the sticker wasn't in cult colors, that's kind of beside the point. The fan was like, hey man, you can put these on wands and sell them on Etsy. That'd be sick. And I was like, fucking A, you're right. That's exactly what I did. Case in point, I mean, like, I made a wand that's orange and red, and the way the colors bleed together, it looks really cool. You know, I'm not going to show it off on camera because I'm teasing the fans a little bit with the wands. Granted, I'm a dick for teasing the fans with the wands, but provided when it hits my Etsy, I'm not worried about it. From now on, you see a wand with a shotgun shelled handle, it's going to be $44 out the door on my Etsy because I don't get to go to the shooting range very often. And you know what I'm saying? Like, on top of that, shells are expensive. You know? Shotgun shell ammo gets expensive. I don't get to go to the range very often. Pomegranate, Bacardi. Pomegranate, my ass. This is dragon fruit. Dragon fruit, Bacardi, and some Coca-Cola. That's pretty tasty. I call it a Dragon Cobra. That sounds pretty tasty. I'm like, what are you going to name this drink combo, you fucking autistic spurg? Let's call it Dragon Cobra. Because it's got dragon fruit, Bacardi, and Coca-Cola. Even though Coca-Cola is incredibly racist towards whites, I still like the taste of it. Don't even get me started on that crap. It's like, could you be less white? Excuse me? What the fuck did Coca-Cola just say? We're going to have to ask you to be less white? Okay. How are we supposed to be less white? Well, let me guess. We're going to have to stop pulling mass shootings and watching NASCAR and supporting Trump and guns and we can't drink as much as we normally do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what pisses me off about it. If Coca-Cola Company would have said that about any other race, could you be less black? You know? They would have been perceived as a racist. Like, oh my God, how racist is Coca-Cola? Did you hear what they just said? But as soon as they say it about us whites, nobody gives a shit. And I'm like, that's kind of the problem with our society, you fucking dickhead. If it would be super inappropriate and super racist to say towards black folks, then racial equality says that it's the same for whites, regardless. Because at the end of the day, you're just judging people for the color of their skin, and you know their race and their stereotypes, and fuck that.
But when it's introduced into things like the learning culture of a country, it spreads very quickly. People
Yes! Isaac Butterfield preach. The learning culture. You know, when Sharon Osbourne, and I quote, said, then educate me, teach me, why is it, you know? People got offended and said all the shit they said. I don't see it as racist, to be honest, and I'm not just saying that because Ozzy Osbourne's one of my idols. I'm serious. If you see it as racist, then educate people. Instead of going off and calling them a racist, maybe some people are just misinformed. You know? Like, oh, hey, you know what? I don't understand how it happens from your perspective, so educate me. When people say educate me, they're not trying to be racist. At least I hope they're not. They're saying, hey, I don't understand. Please educate me on why you think it's racist. And if the person's smart enough and the argument's legit, you can say to yourself, you know what? That's a fair point. I'm sorry for my actions and I'll work better on it next time. But you want to be truthful about it. There are some racist black folks out there, and nobody says shit about it because whites have been racist and dickheads to blacks for centuries. So all of a sudden you see a black dude who's racist towards whites. Nobody says shit because, well, the whites have oppressed. And it's like, stop. We gotta end the oppression. We gotta end the racisms. I don't give a fuck if you're black or white, Hispanic, yellow, polka dotted, purple, brown, whatever color, dude. I don't care. We gotta stop this crap. At the end of the day, dude, fuck this bullshit of, oh, colored people. Okay, fuck that. We're all colors of the rainbow. We are all colors of the fucking rainbow. Every human being is a color, regardless if you're black or white or somewhere in between. We're all colors, dude. We all bleed the same color of blood. Power to the people, YouTube. I'm saying it right now. Preach it and scream it at the hills. Power to the people. There is no reason for people to be fighting over sexist and racist bullshit. That's the kind of crap that divides us as people. We should be uniting women, men. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what gender you are. We should be uniting as people. There's no reason for racism and sexism, man. It just divides our society. There's no need for it. Now, I heard all the racist allegations against Sharon Osbourne, Ozzy Osbourne's wife, and I was like, bullshit! And even all the people doing the interviews with Ozzy are like, hey, wait a minute. I've known this couple for years, and they've never been racist or misogynistic or any of that crap. Even couples who have hung out with Ozzy and Sharon personally are going, hey, wait a minute. How the fuck is she racist? I've hung out with these people for years, and it's like, they're the least racist people I know. It's because she's white. In case you didn't get the memo. Because apparently all white people are racist. And if you say that, nobody says, hey, check your privilege. And not everyone who's white is racist. Because black people have earned privilege because of all the racist crap they've had to go through. White people have privilege because of all the crap that they've delivered. So systematically, you see how it plays out. Back in the day, you talk shit about someone who was black, you might get some grief from some people. And I'm glad that this shit has been checked. I'm glad that people are no longer allowed to be a racist or a transphobic or a homophobic without having their privilege checked. But at the same time, going after folks who support these things and then being told, well, you're white, so automatically you're transphobic, you're homophobic, you're racist, you're this and that. It's like, that's a stereotype, you know.
It now is tomfoolery, but soon it will be commonplace. And the worst thing about all of this is it is compelled speech. You have to agree with it. You are not allowed to exist in this marketplace of ideas if you disagree with this idea. And that is fucked up. Ladies and
Yes, I agree.
gentlemen, people, motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East, big sticks. People always come to the light. Bye.
That's the problem with it, YouTube, to be honest. Is we're being forced into these ideologies. Like, if you want to force people into accepting transgender and homosexual ideologies, we got to have a discussion about this. That says, hey, if you're going to force people, not everyone's going to be for it. But as long as they don't deliberately go out of their way to say, hey, I'm against this crap, then you can't just call them a racist or a homophobic. I watch lesbian porn on Chatterbait and X videos. So, hey, I'm not here to judge. You know what I'm saying? I go on to X videos and I'm just like, lesbian orgy. Enter. You got like a 20, 30, 40 plus of age women all getting down and dirty with each other, licking each other's tits and pussies, and you're just like, and they're all scissoring and squirting on each other, and you're just like, that's hot. Yes. So I'm not gonna judge people for being gay, to be honest. I watch lesbian porn, so I'm not gonna judge people for being homosexual, provided the people that they're trying to be gay with are old enough. If you're in high school and you go after someone else who was in high school and it's consensual, hey, more power to you. If you're an adult and you're in college or plus, and you go after a fellow adult who's in college and it's consensual, etc., same argument, mates. You know what I'm saying, YouTube? No, when I made the fucking video yesterday, the point was like, if you're offended by the Black Lives Matter movement, you're an insensitive snowflake and you need to be educated. And if you're offended by Black Lives Matter, you're probably offended by people saying breastfeeding. And it's the fucking truth, dude. It's like, okay, wait a second. How sensitive do you have to be? How sensitive do you have to be like, you said breastfeeding, the word breast triggers you because it's gender inclusive and it's insensitive? Are we going to be a society that gets offended by boobs? Oh wait, we're already there. Think about it. If a dude takes off his shirt and he's like super ripped, nobody says shit. But if a chick takes off her shirt and she's got some nice ass fucking double D titties, everyone's super offended. And then on top of that, fucking women are encouraged to show off their bodies on social media. And as soon as they do, they get slut shamed for it. What? There's so much ass backwards shit in our society, and it gives me a fucking headache. Oh, wait. I got some Coke and Bacardi. Let me just fucking sip that real quick. The person who bought the autographed copy of Love and Vanity, it'll be there hopefully tomorrow or the next day. The people or person who ordered the signed copy of Love and Vanity, you get a signed tape, the cassette and the tape is signed. You get an autographed t-shirt, you get a handwritten thank you note, and of course a brand new bar of my cologne. I can't afford to give cologne out anymore on my purchases for Etsy just because I'm down to like my last two. I actually ordered some more tactical soap through my affiliate link, which is most definitely what's up. Now that Klondike soap affiliate link that you see in my description box below will get you some of that tactical soap. And if you use coupon code King Cobra, it'll save you 15% off your next order. So that helps me make some money and it helps you save some money. And when you get that tactical soap, trust me, fellas, you won't regret it. Tactical soap is the bee's knees. You want to smell like a rock star and gain confidence with women? Tactical soap has got you covered, dude. I never get tired of it. Like, I'll wash up with some tactical soap. I got a couple bucks. I'll go to Frosty's, or I'll go to the office, or I'll go to the bar. You know, I go to a bar where of age women are drinking. Yes, 21 and up is as low as I go. I could date someone who was 18, but that's as low as I go. I prefer people who are 21 and up, preferably women who are 21 and up. As Cobra's expression goes, old enough to drink, old enough to sink in the pink. How much money would you pay to have every woman you walk by go, that dude smells good? I don't know what he's wearing, but that dude smells good. I'm telling you, YouTube, tactical soap is where it's at. I went and ordered like 5 more bars of Bond Original from the Klondike Soap Company. In my opinion, the Klondike Soap Company makes amazing smelling soaps. They have 6 amazing scents to choose from. Bond number 1's my favorite. It's black. It's a charcoal-based soap, and it just smells good. All the soaps smell good, to be honest. Like, tactical soap is confidence with women when you wash with it. I shit you not. I struggle with my own Asperger's, so sometimes me talking to women, despite being the King Cobra JFS, you know, I struggle with it, I'm not gonna lie. But when I wear tactical soap and women smell me, they're just like, hey, you know what? Cobra smells good. That goth dude smells good. All of a sudden, I'm not so worried about talking to them because I feel confidence when I wear tactical soap. Okay, the Dr. Squash soap is bullshit. The bar of soap is smaller and costs more money. But with coupon code King Cobra, you can actually use that on your orders. And every time you use the affiliate link and coupon code King Cobra, that helps me make some money. That's going to help you smell good for the ladies. Now the cologne I have, it comes in like a stick form, like you see in the videos, where I dust myself with it like. I don't care if it's like spray on or like brush on. Tactical soap products smell good. They're designed to help you smell good for the women. You got a wife, you want to spice up your marriage, and it's like, hey, all of a sudden you don't tell her, you know, if she's not aware or familiar with tactical soap. You order some of it, you have it shipped to your door, yo ho ho, mateys. Because you're a pirate looking for some of that booty. Okay, I'm serious. You shower with it, and your wife doesn't know nothing about it. And you're just being sneaky like, okay, let's see how this shit really works. All of a sudden, your wife is like, oh, you smell good. And she can't keep her hands off of you You're just like, God damn it, tactical soap works? Oh. I keep a couple, like every time my tactical soap gets down to like the sliver, I put all my tactical soap slivers in a collection. So that way I have some on hand when I run out. If I run out, I got a bunch of slivers I can wash with. That way I'm not completely out. But yeah, tactical soap is the bee's knees, YouTube. I'm serious. You go to the description box of my videos right now. You see the Grondike soap affiliate link. You click on it. You order yourself some of that soap. You type in the code King Cobra, all capital letters, KINGCOBRA, no spaces, all capital letters. You get a discount. It's 15% off. But I'm telling you right now, that'll save you some monies, and it helps me out as a tactical soap affiliate. I am a proud tactical soap affiliate because I love tactical soap. Of-age women love the way I smell. You know? But as far as this whole gender inclusive bullshit goes, I've had it. I don't have any more alcohol, which is just fine. I'll get more later when I can or feel like it. But I want to give a shout out to Bacardi. Your dragon fruit rum is delicious. That's 21 and up. I can remember when Bacardi had their peach red. That's how old I am. Bacardi peach red. Came in a bottle equally as big. And it was peach flavored Bacardi rum. It tasted like you took a bunch of peach rings and soaked it in rum and let it dissolve. The only thing that comes close to it is Bacardi's peach rum in the can that they have now. You get like a 4-pack of Bacardi rum in a can. And the closest they have to it is that. When I was much younger, Bacardi Peach Red was where it was at, dude. I'm telling you. When I was younger, Pinnacle Vodka had a cotton candy flavor. And, dude, I've tried Pinnacle Cotton Candy Vodka. It is just exquisite. You want to call me a fucking autistic man-child or a sissy girl for drinking that shit? I don't care. It tastes good. That's the kind of sexist crap that I'm aiming to end on my channel. Like, if you're a dude and you want to drink cotton candy flavored vodka, I'm not here to judge, man. I'm tired of that toxic masculine culture we live in. Oh, you're drinking a girl's drink, you pussy. It's like, fuck you. Oh wow, 2 hours and 101 likes. I do appreciate the support I get on my live videos. You want to support the channel? Buy a t-shirt, donate to PayPal, buy some tactical soap, or buy a wand. Even if you don't do any of those things and you just tune in to watch the video, it's greatly appreciated. But selling tactical soap through my affiliate link, selling my wands, and selling t-shirts are the way I make money outside of YouTube. And the wands, yeah, they take a while to make, but it's worth it. I could spend a couple days making wands just to have them sell out in like a couple hours flat. My wands are super in demand, and I appreciate that. Oh, look at that, YouTube. Here's a shotgun shell handled wand that I'm working on for Etsy. It's got the cult symbol. That the color scheme of it honestly corresponds with the rest of it. It's not done, it's still drying, but check that out. This will be available on my Etsy. I had a fan who sent me some badass leather stickers with the cult symbol on it. So they're like, here's a couple of Cobra Graham leather stickers you could put on your wands. I was like, yes. That's most definitely what's up. Anyways, YouTube. I'm going to wrap this video up because it's almost 11 o'clock at night. Holy shit. Hope you're all having a fucking awesome Tuesday night. I'll catch you on the next video. Your boy Cobra, I'm serious. I'm pissed off about this gender inclusive crap. Like, I'm all for gender equality and power to the people, but at some point you gotta think, like, this is going a bit too far. We're getting offended by terms like breastfeeding because it's not gender inclusive enough. Hey, dickhead, men do not breastfeed their children, women do. I'm sorry, get over it. Keep an eye out for the wands on Etsy because not all the wands are going to contain a cult symbol, but the majority of the wands in this batch will contain a shotgun shelled handle. I have a shotgun shell that I fired from my gun, and then I take the casing and I save it for stuff like this. Most definitely what's up. Anyways, YouTube, hopefully, I think, personally, I think I covered my points fairly enough. Thank you for watching this 2-hour video. I'll catch you later. Subscribe for more.